Hi again, this is the Victory Team. I'm Teacher Paul. You're in the second episode of our child training class. We call it child training, but really it's parent training. We talked about that in your introduction. We put a link up here and you can check that out. But this is part 2. We're kind of getting into the meat of it now. Now we're going to cover from the birth of the child until 5 years old, 4, 6, somewhere in there. And I may just tell you that even before the birth, I believe that marriage counseling should include child training. The young couple, even before they get married, they should understand the work and the faith that it takes to train up a child. They should do that. That's part of counseling. You should pray for your children even before they're born. I remember my wife, she used to pray for even when she was carrying the babies. She'd sing hymns, she'd pray for them, she'd talk to them. They understand her voice, and God is in that all the way. I think the young people or parents, they have to decide on their priorities. Do they want a child or do they want a career? You may not have both. Training a child is the highest career. It's an excellent thing to do. They may ask many children or few. Again, something they should talk about. And something else they should talk about. How do we discipline our child? How do we train our children? What are the details? When a child is born, a baby, an infant, up until 5 years old or so, these are the 3 things that they're so helpless. They need security. They need love. And in a while, they'll learn obedience. They are totally helpless, as you know. This is when mom and dad trust God to do whatever they have to do to protect the child. In Matthew chapter 2, verse 13, you'll see there's a couple, and they're a good character couple. They're called Joseph and Mary. Perhaps you've heard of them. For their child's safety. Again, the infant cannot take care of themselves. The parents, this is the age when the parents have to do that. I'm in Matthew chapter 2, verse 13. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt. And be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. Oh boy! When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt. The baby's welfare is, parents, the baby's welfare is your highest priority. Your career, fun, unhealthy habits, even cultural expectations, you set them aside. The baby's health and welfare is your number 1 priority when they're infants. Also, when they're, in that age between birth and 5 years old, obedience is taught. Obedience isn't some lucky thing that happens to some children and doesn't happen to others. All children have to learn obedience. The child learns that the boundaries are either real or just nothing. A child can learn whether no really means no, or no means, well, I can get away with it. I can do that still. The child learns what the parameters are. They're learning obedience or learning how to be disobedient. Even Jesus. Hey, look at this. Hebrews 5 verse 8. Though he were a son. This is speaking of Jesus. Yet learned he obedience. How? By the things which he suffered. Parents must learn the difference between misunderstanding and mistakes. Your child will make mistakes. They'll make accidents. But you know the difference between a mistake and some deliberate tantrum where they test you. The bottom line is, who rules the house? Yeah, you let your child, if he or she makes a mistake, it's a mistake. You make mistakes too. But you know. I see a child just the other day, I'm in the market. Oh, what a thing. Holding this jar, looking. Mom says, don't set that back, put it back. Smashes it on the floor. Oh, was it a mistake? No, the child is testing the mother. What are you going to do? I'm going to get away with this. And it probably did. Parents ask themselves, should I exercise grace and give my child everything they cry for? No, don't do that. Do not give them everything they cry for. Well, why? What's the matter? They cry. Well, you're training them to cry to get things they want. And you're training them to be spoiled. If they're crying and it's legitimate, well, you better address that situation. But if you give them everything they cry for, they're going to be always crying. Infants and young children, they are totally helpless. And this is when we have, as parents, we have to trust God to do whatever we must to protect them. The parents must govern, that's control, the child. The parents determine the rules, and the parents must enforce the rules. I don't make a lot of laws, but I make them keep the laws. And when they break the laws, there's a penalty. It's far better for them to, as Paul was told, it's hard for thee to kick against the pricks. That is, it's difficult when you violate my will. It's a lot easier for you to go with it. Lay all these laws and burdens on them, but you tell them some things. I expect that to be done. And if it isn't done, and it's just a matter of rebellion, then we really have a problem. If you didn't understand or it's a mistake, it's okay. We talk about it again. The Proverbs 1, the Proverbs have a lot to say about training children. Proverbs 1 verse 8, my son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. That would imply that mom and dad, you laid down the law. You should. You're responsible for the law. I think we'll take a break here, but wow, this is so good. I just have to stress and review. These years are so critical. You form your child's character, even from birth on. Yeah, when they're firstborn, they're just helpless. But it doesn't take very long, months, not even. And they learn about you, and they learn what they can get away with. And they learn the basic laws. Can I violate the law and get away with it? Whatever the law is. And that'll carry over into their adulthood. They're thinking, I can get away with it. Those are people that are trouble. They have a hard time ahead. So parents, even at birth, even before birth, we plan on training our child. All right? Hey, this is interesting. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Please don't go away. We have really good instruction coming up. Bye. Okay, hi. English for Bible readers. It's a primer I wrote it. It's my notes about these and thous. It's a non-abrasive, it's a primer on how to read your Bible. The things that are peculiar and difficult will become your friends. You'll start enjoying the reading. I want you to have a copy. I'll send you a copy for free. If you want more, they're $10 a piece. But just write to this email address and let me know, and I'll get you one. God bless.